Hello everyone, in today's lesson we're going to learn about the pretérito versus the imperfecto, and we're going to take a look at new way to differentiate when and how to use them. So let's begin. So I know that many of you are familiar with the preterite, and the way you were taught is that we use it to narrate events that finished in the past. And the imperfect, we use it to narrate events that took place over a long period of time. So first, let's take a look at the preterite. And yes, we use it to narrate. First, when we talk about events in the past that have a clear beginning and end. For example, los dinosaurios se extinguieron hace 65 millones de años. So the equivalent in English will be dinosaurs died 65 million years ago. Second, we also use it to narrate a succession or series of events that took place in the past. For example, la semana pasada, mi familia y yo fuimos a Muir Woods y luego pasamos la tarde en la playa. In English, last week, my family and I went to Muir Woods, and after that, we spent the afternoon at the beach. And third, we use the preterite to describe a quality of a finished event. So, for example, el fin de semana pasado fue genial. In English, last weekend was great. So notice that weekend is my event, and fue genial or was great is the quality of that finished event. So now let's take a look at the imperfect. And mostly we use it to describe, not so much as to narrate. So when we want to add details to events that took place in the past, for example, la chica que conocí ayer era muy amable. In English, the girl I met yesterday was really nice. So my event is the girl I met yesterday, and the detail is that she was really nice. Second, we also use the imperfect to describe habitual actions that happened in the past. For example, en mi niñez, mi madre era mi principal apoyo. In English, as a child, my mom was my unconditional support. So notice that in this case, the verb was takes the meaning of used to be. So every time I needed someone as a child, I would rely on my mother, and that makes it a habitual action. And third, we use the imperfect as well to describe qualities of nouns in the past. So, for example, el ladrón tenía los ojos azules, era alto y rubio. In English, the thief had blue eyes, he was tall and blonde. So notice that my noun is el ladrón A noun could be a person or an object. Okay, so here are a couple of examples of what we consider details: weather, feelings, physical states or conditions. For example, to be cold, to be hot, personality traits. When we talk about color, size, or age, for example, progressive actions in the past as well. Let's end this video explaining about progressive actions in the past. So first, if the subject performing the action is in motion, we use the verb ir instead of the verb estar. So for example, el otro día iba caminando por el centro de Menlo Park cuando me di cuenta que Santa Cruz Avenue está parcialmente cerrada. In English, the other day, I was walking in downtown Menlo Park when I saw that Santa Cruz Avenue is partially closed. So notice that this progressive action, because I am in motion, then in English you use the verb to be, was walking, but in Spanish I use the verb ir, iba caminando. And the second thing to look into progressive actions in the past is if the subject performing the action is not in motion, we use the imperfect form of the main verb. So for example, te vi comiendo ayer en un restaurante. Llevabas un vestido azul. In English, yesterday, I saw you eating at a restaurant. You were wearing a blue dress. So because wearing is my main verb, then in Spanish, I simply say llevabas. However, because the action of comiendo or eating is actually taking place when I'm watching you or looking at you, then that verb needs to be in the progressive. In summary, to understand the difference between the preterite and the imperfect is the preterite is to narrate or to describe the quality of an event that took place in the past. Remember, with a clear beginning and end. And the imperfect is mainly to describe or to add background details to events that happened in the past. And that's it for today.